In the beginning, there is stillness. When we meet someone for the first time, the excitement often clouds our ability to observe. But observation, real, calm, conscious observation, is the first skill a practitioner must develop, both in the martial arts and in life. Today, I share not from judgment, but from clarity, because to live in harmony, to walk the path of self-respect and dignity, we must learn to recognize signs that show imbalance, signs that reveal untruths. And if we are not careful, they become suffering. So for women walking this journey, whether in love, companionship, or the quiet pursuit of self-knowing, I invite you to listen with presence, to watch, not react, to feel, not chase, and to never ignore these 5 red flags. Especially in the first week. Let us begin. In life, every word is an echo, but what gives it strength is the action behind it. Many people will say what they believe you want to hear, but as the Shaolin teach us, the truth does not hide in what is said, it hides in what is done. The first red flag, therefore, is a man who speaks much, but follows through little. If in the first days promises are made and quickly forgotten, or enthusiasm fades as soon as effort is required, observe. This is not a mistake, it is a message. In your training, when the master gives instruction, it is not the loudest who becomes skilled. It is the one who practices in silence every day. So do not be moved by loud intentions. Instead, feel the quiet truth in consistent actions. A man who values your time, your energy, your presence, will show it, not just say it. The second red flag wears a mask. It often comes as a joke. In the beginning, lightness is natural. Humor brings connection. But pay attention when laughter hides disrespect, when sarcasm cuts deeper than it should, when playful comments leave you feeling small. This is not a sign of emotional intelligence. It is a sign of immaturity, or worse, manipulation. When someone teases your values, your dreams, your body, or your beliefs, even subtly, this is not harmless. The Shaolin way teaches, never allow someone to laugh at your expense. Your dignity is not a joke. To share joy is beautiful, but to allow someone to diminish you under the cover of charm, that is to give away your power before the story even begins. Presence is a gift, and presence in communication, showing up, checking in, remembering details, reveals the true quality of one's heart. In the first days, everything is new, time is made, curiosity is high. So if communication is already inconsistent, disappearing for hours or days with no care or clarity, this is not mystery, it is avoidance. In the Shaolin temple, discipline is not occasional, it is constant. That's how strength is built. In relationships, the same rule applies. Consistency is not optional, it is foundational. A man who communicates only when it benefits him, or when he is bored, or when he wants something, is not building a bond. He is playing with attention. You deserve presence, not excuses. A boundary is not a wall, it is a gate, with honor and intention. The fourth red flag is when a man, early on, disrespects your boundaries. This may appear as pushing for physical closeness when you've expressed hesitation, or insisting on topics you are not ready to share, or mocking your standards as too much. Remember this, anyone who rushes you does not value you. Anyone who tests your boundaries is not trying to understand you. They are trying to control you. At the temple, no student progresses by force, only through willingness. A relationship must reflect the same spirit. So if your no is not honored or your pace is not respected, step back. Your peace is more precious than the thrill of a beginning. Curiosity is a sign of respect, of presence, of soulfulness. When someone is truly interested in you, not just your appearance, not just your energy, but your essence, they will ask, they will listen, they will seek to understand. But if in the early days you find yourself doing all the asking, all the sharing, all the giving, notice this imbalance. In Shaolin teaching we say, the cup must be empty before it is filled. But if only one cup is pouring while the other remains closed, there is no exchange. A lack of emotional curiosity means he is not here to see you, only to receive from you. That is not love, that is consumption. True connection is born when both hearts open, not when one performs and the other watches. When someone talks excessively about their past, especially about ex-relationships, it is not a sign of openness. It is often a sign of unresolved wounds. You may feel empathy, you may feel the urge to comfort, but remember, it is not your role to heal what someone refuses to work through on their own. In Shaolin tradition, healing comes through silence, reflection, discipline, not through projection. If his words still carry bitterness, No, if comparisons arise, if blame is the main theme, know this: the past is still present within him, and until he releases it, he cannot truly meet you. Be compassionate, yes, but do not become the bandage for wounds you did not create. Your body knows, your spirit whispers, but often your mind argues. If you notice discomfort, anxiety, or doubt rising after each encounter, don't ignore it. These signals are not paranoia. They are protection. A man who genuinely respects you will add to your peace, not take from it. In Shaolin, we listen not just with ears, but with the whole being. The red flag here is not his words, but how you feel around them. If your nervous system does not relax in his presence, this is already an answer. Do not betray yourself in order to stay liked. Spiritual intimacy takes time. It is earned through presence, trust, shared values. But a common red flag is when physical intimacy is pushed. Too soon, too intensely. This is not passion. This is pressure. True connection honors rhythm, honors readiness. In Shaolin, we never force the flower to bloom. We simply provide the right conditions. If a man makes you feel that you must offer your body to gain his affection, step away. What begins with the imbalance will not evolve into harmony. You are not an object. You are a temple. When you try to speak of meaning, of future, of values, and the other person quickly changes the subject, laughs it off, or says, "Let's not go too deep," notice. In Shaolin wisdom, we say, shallow roots cannot hold a strong tree. A relationship that avoids depth in the beginning will avoid responsibility in the future. If someone is uncomfortable with emotional depth, they may not be ready to hold space for your soul. Light conversation has its place, but if your spirit seeks depth, don't settle for surface. The moment you express discomfort or ask for clarity and someone makes you feel too sensitive or too much, this is emotional gaslighting. A red flag often ignored by many women is being made to question their own intuition. But in Shaolin tradition, we honor inner wisdom. We meditate not to learn, but to remember what is already true within. If your feelings are dismissed early on, imagine how they will be treated later. Do not let someone teach you to mistrust your inner compass. It was given to you for a reason. Sometimes, red flags come dressed in concern. A man may tell you what to wear, who to talk to, where you should or shouldn't go, all under the idea of "I care about you." But there is a fine line between care and control. In the Shaolin life, true discipline is self-directed, not imposed. A healthy relationship should empower your freedom, not restrict it. If, early on, you feel your independence shrinking, if decisions you once made freely are now met with tension or guilt, this is not love, it is control. To be truly cared for is to be accepted, as you are, not monitored, not shaped. Pay attention to how a man speaks about women, not just you, but all women. In the first week, he may speak respectfully to your face, but listen to his words about his ex, his mother, his co-workers. Are they filled with blame, bitterness, mockery? Shaolin wisdom teaches how someone treats the invisible is how they treat the truth. If he only shows kindness when it benefits him, but cruelty when you're not looking, he is not kind, he is strategic. A man who disrespects other women will eventually disrespect you, no matter how he starts. His patterns are the path, not his charm. When a man becomes jealous within days, questions your every move, seems possessive, even before trust is built, this is not romance. This is a warning. He may say, "It's because I care so much," or "I just don't want to lose you." But Shaolin clarity reminds us, love without freedom is not love. It is fear in disguise. A calm heart does not rush to suspicion. A wise man does not attempt to own what he cherishes. He nurtures it. If someone needs to control your attention to feel secure, the issue lies not with you, but with their own inner emptiness. And that emptiness cannot be filled by obedience. If every story he tells makes him the victim of his ex, of his job, of the world, pause. This is a pattern of avoidance. It means he has not yet taken responsibility for his part in his own life. And a person who refuses self-responsibility will never take accountability in a relationship. Shaolin teaches that we are not what happens to us. We are what we choose to do with it. A red flag is when, instead of learning from hardship, someone uses it as a shield, as an excuse, as a way to avoid growth. You are not here to rescue. You are here to evolve. In the Shaolin temple, silence is not emptiness. It is presence. It is power. In the early days of dating, pay attention to how a man relates to silence. If he cannot sit with stillness, if every moment must be filled with noise, distraction, or entertainment. This is not just a habit, it is a signal. Often those who fear silence also fear themselves. They have not yet learned to face the inner voice, to dwell in the space where ego falls away and truth begins. In a relationship, silence is not a void to be filled. It is a space to be shared. If someone cannot be comfortable and quiet with you, how will they ever truly hear you? It is natural to be attracted. Beauty, charm, elegance, these are gifts. But if in the first week the conversation stays only on your looks, your body, your style, this is not appreciation. This is objectification. The Shaolin way values what is unseen more than what is seen. Internal strength, stillness of mind, purity of intent. If a man cannot see past your physical form, he does not yet see you. Be careful when admiration becomes possession, when compliments feel transactional, when attention is conditional. Your outer form is only the doorway, but your essence, that is where love must enter. A man who walks the way does not walk it alone. Observe closely. Does he have meaningful friendships? Does he speak respectfully of his male companions? Does he trust and uplift those around him? A man who has no brotherhood often lacks accountability. He may be self-isolated, or worse, driven by ego. The way he relates to other men will tell you how he manages conflict, loyalty, and truth. In Shaolin, your brothers in training hold the mirror. They help you refine the blade of your spirit. If a man has no such mirrors, he may not be ready to see his own reflection in a relationship. Loneliness and solitude are not the same, but isolation, by choice or dysfunction, is always worth noticing. Being busy is not the same as being purposeful. If someone repeatedly says they are so busy, yet seems unfocused, unreliable, or scatter-minded, it is not about time, it is about priorities. In the temple, we train every day, not because we have time, but because it matters. A man who truly wants to know you will make space for you, not because you demand it, but because presence is a choice, not an accident. Busy becomes a red flag when it is used to avoid vulnerability or to keep you at arm's length while still keeping you emotionally invested. Time, like love, reveals itself through action. Gratitude is a sacred force. Without it, even beauty turns bitter. Even love turns cold. If in the first week you offer kindness, your time, your energy, and he does not recognize it, does not thank you, does not see the gift, this is not a small thing. In the Shaolin tradition, every bowl of rice is received with reverence, every lesson is bowed to. A man without gratitude is not grounded, he is entitled. It is not about constant praise, it is about awareness. If someone cannot appreciate small things now, they will not respect great things later. Do not give your light to someone who does not know how to receive it. And finally, the last red flag, one that may not be loud, but is deeply telling. If the man you are getting to know seems adrift, with no direction, no sense of personal responsibility, no deeper mission, then what is he building? Where is he going? And how can he walk beside you if he doesn't know how to walk alone? In the Shaolin life, purpose is the compass. Without it, discipline falters. With it, clarity arrives. A man disconnected from his purpose will seek distraction in you. He may depend on you for emotional balance, for validation, for escape. And that is not partnership. That is imbalance. Choose someone who is already walking their own path, not waiting for you to become their path. So, what do we learn from these red flags? Not to fear love, not to reject connection, but to see with open eyes. In your life, you are the temple, you are the master, you are the guardian of your energy. And in the first week of dating, you are not looking for perfection, but for alignment. Shaolin wisdom does not teach you to close your heart. It teaches you to protect it wisely. Love, when it arrives in truth, will feel spacious. It will move slowly. It will be consistent. It will make you more of who you are, not less. So, to the women watching this, I offer this. Observe with stillness, choose with strength, and walk away with grace whenever your spirit whispers, "This is not for me." Because when the heart is at peace, the path becomes clear.